Hola, hola, soy Mónica Cantón de Celis, CEO de Design for Change Global, y estoy aquí para deciros lo orgullosos que estamos de lo que habéis hecho este año. Ya sabéis que ha sido un año muy raro y sin embargo habéis conseguido hacer del mundo un poquito mejor con vuestras historias de cambio. Así que querría animaros y deciros que sigáis haciendo historias, que sigáis haciendo proyectos, que sigáis cambiando el mundo, que sois nuestros superhéroes y que por favor nos las sigáis mandando para que podamos compartirlas con el mundo entero. Porque gracias a vosotros, hoy el mundo es un poquito mejor. Muchísimas gracias.
Hi everyone, great to see you again, and what a wonderful World by Design this is turning out to be. We're so happy to have you all here on World Children's Day to listen to all these stories of change from our absolutely fantastic children. So now we're moving on to Zone 3. A big thank you to all the students participating in Zone 2. In Zone 3, we've got students today from Peru, Canada, Singapore, Brazil, Bulgaria, Serbia, Ecuador, Spain, the United States of America, and Colombia. Thank you for being here today. We also have our student moderators, Risa, Natalia, and Carol. And they're joined by our panelists for Zone 3, Rachna from Oracle, Alison from World's Largest Lesson, Adeline from Foses Property, Suzanne from Spark Network, James from DQ Institute, and Paula from Fundación Terpal. So thank you to everyone who's here. Thank you to everyone who's watching as well. We're so pleased you can be here. Keep typing those questions into our Facebook chat, our YouTube comments. We can't wait to hear from you. And thank you so much for being here to support all our children who are sharing their stories of change. So, Zone 3, over to you.
Everyone. So I'm Madhu Verma from Design for Change Singapore, and I welcome this session today. And we have some amazing stories from Singapore, Brazil, and Canada. So we have Arshul and Suryan from Singapore, Victoria School, and we have Silmara from Brazil, focusing on color and race. Yeah, hi. And we have Jefferson who is translating for her. And then we have Lena from Canada who's joining us. And yeah, hi Lena, just wave your hand. Yeah. And today we have our panelists are Edlin from Fraser's Property, and we have Alison from the World's Largest Lesson, promoting the SDGs and creating resources for the teachers and educators to promote that amongst children. And we have Rachna from Oracle. So thank you very much for joining us today. And I have Super Sonam, hi, who's helping me out today with moderating this session. So let's quickly actually begin, because we have some amazing story and so diverse, and I was so really inspired with these stories, especially Canada. Lena, it's we're talking about vaccines, and vaccine being the ultimate solution to all the problem today with COVID, but they have come out with something which is how to keep these vaccines at the right temperature where there is lack of infrastructure or even the power is not reliable. So amazing and very simple, low cost gadget that they have developed. From Brazil, Silmara's team has promoted the race and accepting who you are. It's wonderful. And then we have from Singapore, we have special promoting awareness about special needs, right, among students and children and public. So Sonam, over to you. So I have Sonam from Bhutan, and Sonam, would you like to ask a question from our superheroes?
So after having seen all of these wonderful videos, I just wanted to know, what do you think you learned about yourself through this whole experience? Like, how do you think doing this project has changed you as a person?
Wonderful. Yeah. Something new that you have done, something so purposeful, and through that whole journey, there is something that you may have discovered about yourself or something that may have changed you, right? So just think for a moment and look back. What is that? How has this changed you? So can I ask the Singapore team to share?
I think personally for me, after getting to know more about the difficulties that children with dyslexia face and how we can help them, I realized that in the past, what I used to do and not many others do as well is, if we see someone who has a disability, we oftentimes just overlook them or ignore them or just try not to approach them. And we feel that that's the right direction sometimes because we feel that, we're not disturbing them, so that's good. But actually, by doing so, we're kind of isolating them, and that in fact makes it worse in certain scenarios. So I think that's like one of the biggest things that I realized after doing this project and learning journey. And I realized that actually it is possible for me to go speak to these people, to interact with them, and they're not much different from us. They are as capable or even more capable than us. They just need a bit of help or a bit of support here and there, and they can still excel. So I think that's probably my biggest takeaway from this.
So that special needs it's part of them, it's not them, right? So it's like you wear specs. You're different than me, right? So this is
yeah.
But yeah. So anything do you want to add, Suryan, on that?
I think I have a very similar takeaway as Arshul. I really learned that we shouldn't really isolate all these people, and we should really accept them and embrace their differences, and we should really come together and like excel together as a society.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, then I would like to give the floor to our panelists now. So Edlin, do you have any question specifically for a team that you want to ask? You're mute, Edlin. Yeah.
I've realized that in doing all of these video conference calls, the most common phrase that everyone would go, "You're on mute." So anyway, thanks so much. I really enjoy having that quick brief of all the different projects that you guys have done. I guess the question that I'd be interested to know is, what was probably the biggest challenge in doing each of your projects? And how did you overcome it based on the different challenge, the biggest challenge that you had?
Right, and I would like to ask that from Brazil, from Silmara, the biggest challenge that you had, because you touched a very something to do with race and very personal identity. Yeah.
O maior desafio do projeto foi convencer os jovens a participarem do projeto, já que falar de cultura
Okay, we lost the sound. Yeah.
e história não era comum para eles.
About culture and history was not common for them.
Então, reunir os jovens para participar das oficinas e demais atividades do projeto foi um grande desafio.
So bringing young people together to participate in the workshops and other activities project was a big challenge.
So bringing people together. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And how did you overcome it?
Como você resolveu isso?
Acho que o fato de eu ser muito comunicativa e também desenvolver um papel de liderança na comunidade foram aspectos importantes para superar esse desafio.
I think the fact that I'm very communicative and also develop a leadership role in the community were important aspects to overcome this challenge.
Mas o mais importante foi o fato de eu ser jovem como eles. Eu acho que isso ajudou muito.
But the most important thing was the fact that I'm young like them. That helped a lot.
Sorry, can you repeat that? What was most important?
She said that the most important aspect was the fact that she's young, like the young people. So this helped a lot.
Right. It helped to relate. Yeah. Edlin, did you have something to ask?
No, she's clarified already,
Yeah,
so that's
okay.
fine. But no, that's great. No, I really think it's a really great initiative you're doing there. It takes a lot of passion to do it. And I'll just say, keep doing what you're doing. And, it's the small things that we do that really can make an impact.
Yeah. And it's a bold one. It's not an easy one. It's a bold project, I think. Yeah. So, Alison, would you like to ask Lena something?
Yeah, I would love to. Lena, your project is fantastic. I've got a couple of questions for you. The first one is, are you a scientist?
No.
No. You're not a scientist. It sounds to me like you're a real scientist. Or you're an engineer or something like that. Where did your idea come from?
From Egypt, because there it's hot, so it's hard to store stuff.
Yeah. So you got the problem, you found a problem to solve, and then what gave you the ideas, the very clever ideas to come together with all the different aspects that enabled you to create the fridge effectively that you don't need to plug in all the time?
When I went to Egypt, I saw similar things like that. So I tried to recreate it.
Brilliant. And then you used the microbit. How did you use the microbit?
So I programmed it to tell the temperature, and I put it in the fridge.
Yeah.
And I had to wait until it got to 8 degrees. So, because it has to be between 2 to 8 degrees to store vaccines.
And did it always work?
No.
What happened when it didn't work? What did you do then?
I tried again, putting more ice or putting cold water.
So you tried different things to make it work. I think it's great. Really great.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Wonderful project.
Yeah. My fridge wasn't working, surprisingly, 3 days ago.
It speaks to the fact that, you never gave up, and just kept trying different ways. And that's the spirit in terms of doing it. If you fail once, keep doing it again.
Yeah, wonderful. And and darling, you are not only a scientist, you are an inventor. So believe in that, and wonderful, great. So Rachna, would you like to ask a question to any of the students.
Thank you. I still have a couple of questions, but first, the project for Brazil came talking about race and color, special needs, dyslexia. It's all sort of part of being inclusive. How do we create an inclusive society? Something the organization spend all their time figuring out and trying to address that. How do we become more diverse and inclusive organization, which is what in Oracle we are trying our best to make sure that we are a very inclusive organization. So, I'm HR leader for Oracle, and for me, you're the future leaders. I want to hire you today. I've got an inventor, a scientist, and people who are really passionate about inclusion. I'd like to hire you today, but anyway, I still have a few years to wait for that. So I want to ask first Arshul and Shoran, what was your inspiration? Who inspired you? I mean, it's something you don't really at a student level think about daily. Do I really want to focus on special needs? But you did. So what was your inspiration? Who inspired you to do it?
So actually, for the past 4 years, we have had a classmate who unfortunately has autism and also has muscular dystrophy. So although this is not dyslexia, which is a project we did on, it was something where we got to really interact and learn how to interact with someone who does have special needs. And he really changed our perception of how people with special needs live on a day-to-day basis, because although he has these issues, he still tops the class for math, for science. He still does better than all of us for our academics, and that's something that I found was quite inspirational, that even though he has all these limitations holding him back, because he managed to get the support of his parents and eventually the support from his classmates, he managed to do quite very well and focus quite well on his lessons. So that was kind of what we wanted to try to bring about for all the students who face with dyslexia. The same kind of care and support that he received from his parents, he received from students around him. So that's why we wanted to try to create that awareness, because personally I feel that it's not that people do not want to help them, it's just we do not know how to help them. So that's how we wanted to try to educate people on how we can interact with them. So he was really quite an inspiration for this project. Yeah.
Yeah.
Feel any initial hesitation or reluctance or a pushback from fellow students saying, "Oh my God, this is very difficult." I mean, at your age, this is a very heavy, sensitive topic. So did you find that your fellow students were a bit more, "Don't talk to us about it"? And how did you sort of go around winning their trust in what you were doing?
I think definitely it is a bit of a challenge for most people to overcome this barrier of okay, I should take more action to try to interact with people with special needs, because as I said earlier, most of them are just to the extent of okay, let's just bear with them, or we just live with them, but we won't do anything to them. So it was a bit tough trying to encourage people to go take an extra step further. So for our friend who is currently wheelchair bound, we had to convince people sometimes to just help him, bring him down to another venue for recess or something like that. So those simple things are things that sometimes we are afraid to do, but once we learn that it's actually okay, we can actually do it and we can interact with them, that is what really helps them a lot and gives them the emotional support, not just academic and other support. So trying to teach people that this is okay was a bit of a challenge, but after a while, especially with the help of our friend, he was quite helpful in giving us tips on how we can try to get people to see a different light for dyslexia. So after a while we managed to do it. Yeah.
Thank you very much. It was such a fulfilling, inspiring session today. Thank you all. And keep doing what you're doing at this age. And I think when you come to our age, I don't know where you'll be. So thank you very much. Great to meet you all. Thank you. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
My name is Zuna and I'm from Serbia. I'm going to tell you about a place that is very important for Serbia and also my favorite. It's called Justinijana Prima, which means Caričin grad. Byzantine city founded by Justinian I in the 6th century and currently is an archaeological site near Lebanon in southern Serbia. It had many churches, buildings, bathrooms, shops, and craft works. I'm so grateful to be living in this wonderful world.
Welcome to the living room of City Port in Portugal.
With over 100 years,
AOW ZONE is center of Porto life. Folks have been here.
we celebrate New Year Eve and victories.
People raise their voices for causes.
It starts at the City Council and ends at the famous Cardoso Palace. It's an honor to show our beautiful city to the DFC family all over the world.
Great, so thank you for joining us. I'm Sophie from Design for Change Singapore, and I want to welcome you to A Wonderful World by Design. Today we're sharing stories of change from projects, students in Bulgaria, Serbia, and 2 teams from Singapore. And we're thrilled to have panelists and our student moderator here today with us. So I want to hand over to our student teams to introduce themselves. If we could lead with our students from Bukit Batok Secondary School in Singapore, if you can tell us your names, where you're from, and a couple of sentences about your project as well.
Hi everyone, I'm Hazika from Bukit Batok Secondary School. I'm from Singapore and currently I'm in Secondary 4. Interestingly, today was also the day where I ended my national exams, and my project was Walk Along with Yuan Kai, who will introduce to you more about the project.
Hello, my name is Yuan Kai. Similarly, I've also just ended my national exams today. And so basically, Project Me is a student-led and student-initiated project. It is led by our school's uniform group, and it's collaborated with our school's youth leader community. So this project aims to collect rice from the willing residents of nearby neighborhoods and distributes it to the less fortunate in the area, like those living in one-room flats.
Great, thank you, Yuan Kai and Hazika. Great to have you here today. And can I ask our students from Bulgaria to introduce themselves?
Yeah, hi, I'm Anastasia. I'm from Yana Sandansky Secondary School. What other? Let's continue.
So our project is about the Z generation style, and we have created a company for interior design, for furnishing, and I think that there's a lot more to say about that. about the style of this generation, and we have come up with several designs, and we hope that we can make a change. Like, we built our project based on some critique we have about today's furnishing stores, and we hope you enjoy that.
Great, thank you very much. We look forward to hearing more from you as well as we move through. And how about our students from Pasir Ris Secondary School in Singapore?
Hi, I'm Samakia.
Hi, Samakia, and you've been working with...
And I'm Shakira, and we are from Singapore, and we are representing our school, Pasir Ris Secondary.
So the project that we did is part of our school project work, and we wanted to focus on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and we chose climate change as our topic.
And since climate change is actually a huge crisis in our world today, we wanted to raise awareness about it among our schoolmates. And in particular, we focus on the causes of climate change and how it impacted people.
So to embark on this project, we used a variety of research sources and collated data through surveys as well.
And for this project, as a group, we found it very enjoyable and useful, and we hope to raise more awareness about climate change, especially to youth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. And from our team from Serbia, would you like to introduce yourselves?
Okay. Yes. Hey guys, I'm Anya. I'm from Serbia, from Karlovci Grammar School, and our project focuses on our local community in Karlovci, our tourism, and maybe Tiana would like to tell you more about that.
Yes, hi, I'm Tiana, and we worked on this project together. Now, as you could see, the project was concerning souvenirs, but it also helped improve our town's tourism, employment, and help people with special needs get more creative and help us with it.
Great, thank you guys. Thank you for your introductions. I can really sense the teamwork already, even in those introductions. You've been working great together. So can I please hand over to, we've got 3 grown-ups in the room. Oh, I'm not counting myself as a grown-up, 4 if we count me. 3 grown-ups in the room. Please can I hand over to Alison first to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Alison Bellwood. I'm the director of the world's largest lesson based in London, and it is my mission to spread the SDGs across all schools in the world so that every children know about the goals and are able to take actions in a similar way to some of these great projects that we've just seen.
Great, thank you so much, Alison. We're so pleased you can be here. And Rachna, would you like to introduce yourself?
And I'm not a grown-up as well. I'm very, very young, just as young as you are. So Rachna Sampaio, based here in Singapore. I work for Oracle Corporation, a very large IT organization, as a human resources leader. And it's great to see you all future leaders that I will be hiring in the future. Can't wait for you guys to grow up, as I can see your projects and what an exciting work you guys are doing. And I can't wait to see, more of you in the future. So yeah, I'm very excited to be here today. Thanks, Sophie.
Great, thank you, Rachna. Thank you for the words of encouragement. And Adeline, welcome. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Adeline. I work for a company called Fraser's Property. It's a multinational real estate company. I'm the senior vice president as well as head of the communications as well as branding for the organization. And a part of my portfolio is looking at community investment. What do we need to look at in terms of really serving the needs of the community? So I'm excited to be here. I always find that the best ideas sometimes come from the youngest people in the room. And that's what I love to hear and participate in programs like this. So thank you for having me and look forward to hearing from you.
Great, thank you so much, Adeline. So I'm going to hand over now to Risa. If you could introduce yourself, what you do with Design for Change, and if you are ready to ask the first question to the student teams as well.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Risa Indrianti. I am from Indonesia and from DFZ Indonesia. I study at Diponegoro University in Indonesia. I'm 18 years old, and here I am a student moderator. Yeah, I'm also a member of student council for DFZ Global. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you, Risa. And did you have a question that you would like to ask the teams?
Okay, first I will ask a question for DFC Singapore. Yeah. Tell us one thing you learned about yourself during this project, and how did this project change you?
So if we start with the students from Bukit Batok Secondary School. So
Yeah.
what did you learn during this project and how did it change you?
So before this project, I would hesitate, fidget, and be unwilling to speak to large crowds of people because during this project, I had multiple opportunities to stand on a stage and instruct about 300 plus volunteers. So this project made me learn that I can overcome my unwillingness to speak to a large crowd and have the confidence to speak calmly and without stuttering.
For me, what I learned about myself through this project is definitely project management. So before actually embarking on this project, I never actually saw myself leading such a large-scale school project with the students in my own school. And I was a person who was actually always fond of helping others and wanted to give back to the society, but there wasn't any chance for me to do so. So having the opportunity to lead such a project made me really excited because through this project I learned that despite the tasks and responsibilities I had as a leader of this project, I was able to manage them one at a time because this project has taught me about setting deadlines for myself as well as to take down notes to organize the thoughts in my head so that I'm able to relay the tasks needed to be done to my own team members to have an efficient project to be carried out.
Great answer. Thank you very much, DFC Singapore.
So could I ask the same question to the other Singapore team from Pasir Ris Secondary? So Samakia and Shakira, what about you? What did you learn during your projects?
I think we first didn't really know how air pollution really causes climate change and effects. And I think we have learned through the research how human activities have really worsened climate change and how the same vicious cycle has really impacted us back. And so it also affects our daily lives, and we've now know to act and make a small change in the world, and we greater appreciate our environment more, and we need to make a change soon, and we hope that we can do it and make a greater impact. Shakira.
I also learned that we should appreciate our surroundings and environment more than we usually do every day. As after this project, I learned about the impacts of climate change to us, and me and Samakia also make sure that we do the simplest things that could reduce this problem, which is climate change, even though it's very small, like recycling and all this stuff.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you very much for your answer, and good luck, guys.
Thanks, Risa. Do you have a question for Anastasia and Nadeja in Bulgaria for their project?
Yeah, of course. The second question for DFC Serbia. What was the most difficult thing or challenge you faced while working on this project?
Okay, so for Tiana and Anya, what was the most difficult thing you found?
So when it comes to this project, the most difficult thing for me, at least, was being heard and being seen, because we wanted to make this project bigger and we put a lot of effort and thought into it, but we needed help and we needed sponsors and we needed support from bigger businesses, because this is, at the end of the day, a volunteer project.
Tiana, would you say that's the same for you as well?
Yes, I'd say the beginning is the hardest since we started it in school. Not many people heard of it, but later on we teamed up with some local organizations and some people were willing to help.
Great, thank you. Well, hopefully the opportunity to share today as well will make a difference for your project. So thank you. Risa? Just unmute yourself, Risa.
Okay. Thank you, Anya and Tiana. This wonderful answer. Thank you very much. Good luck. And
Thank you.
I will give a third question. Yeah, for the FC Bulgaria. Yeah. What was your favorite part where you had most fun?
Our favorite part, I think, was the creativity we have with the project. Our project was about room design and interior, exterior, and like the creativity we put and the effort was like we felt really good when doing it. Our team is really creative. I was a leader of the team, but I think there was not really a leader, how it's called. We all worked in it. We all were creative. With Nadia, we made the interior design, and as me, I want to be an architect, so I did the room design, and with Nadia, we did the interior, and she's like really good at exterior, so she did the exterior of some things.
I think that my favorite thing about this project was making the designs of the rooms. Just as Anastasia said, it was really fun doing this thing. I'm really interested in making interior and exterior of different houses, and we really enjoyed working together on this project, and we hope you enjoy it.
Thank you very much, Anastasia and Nadezhda from DFC Bulgaria. Good luck, everyone. Good luck, guys. Thank you.
Risa, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your encouragement for the teams as well. So I wonder if I could hand over to Adeline. Do you have a question for any of the teams in particular?
Oh, I wish you didn't ask me first, because I was going to ask Anastasia, because her wall is the one that's attracting me. I'm looking at Anastasia's wall and I'm wondering, is that K-pop groups on your wall?
Yes, they are. They are K-pop groups.
And which is your favorite K-pop group?
NCT.
Sorry?
NCT.
Ah, I see.
Technology.
I saw Risa waving her.
Me too.
I should probably not tell you, I used to work with MTV once upon a time. I met with many of those K-pop groups before. But that's for another story. So anyway, I was drawn by that because your project was obviously about design and about, architecture. And also I'm in the real estate business. So I will ask you the question. In the process of your project, what do you feel kind of changed along the way in terms of your opinions about what you first thought about the project and versus what changed along the way?
I think the thing that changed about how I perceived the project was it's that I can put the effort I want to put in things. Like I thought I couldn't do this, and this, but like while doing it, I found out that I really can and that I'm able to do it.
Great, thank you. I love that confidence. I love the positivity as well. So, Rachna, what about yourself? Do you have a question for any of the teams?
Yes, and my older daughter, she is a fan of BTS. So her phone and her laptop, everything is full of BTS. So K-pop is everywhere. I watch K-drama. I don't really listen to K-pop, but I will have two questions for two teams. So first, I will start with Anastasia and the team, and not that we're only picking on you guys. And of course, your wall is really, really colorful. I like it. The project that you guys did about generation, right? The Gen Z. Am I picking up the right project? Sorry.
Yes, it's the right project.
Sorry. Yes. So what? As you went through the entire process and looked at the stereotypes that grown-ups do on Gen Z, one piece of advice or piece of words that you want to tell to grown-ups about changing our perception about your generation or Gen Z, what would that be? what you want to say to me?
I think is the perception that we don't do anything about how our future, about how we see things. Is that it may be different from the grown-ups, but it's our way and it's not wrong. And that we are on our phones is true, but they don't know what we are looking at on our phones. For me, I'm sometimes looking at architecture projects and I really enjoy doing them. I enjoy doing floor plans, I enjoy looking at the interior of some things. But my grandma, let's say, it's like, you're only looking at makeup and clothes. Stop looking at that. But she's sometimes right, but not always. And the perception we are doing nothing about our future is really wrong, because all these projects are like our future, they're for our future. The air pollution, the give a heart thing, it's all about the future, the positivity, if there's an air pollution in the air, and it gets more and more, and that's bad for the future, and we are looking in it, and it's really not good for it. And the stereotype that we are not looking into future, I want to break fully, because it's nowhere near right.
I agree with you. And I think, yeah, go ahead. Yes.
I also think that the adults should have more faith in us, because we are able to make changes in the future, and we are all the hopes of adults should be put into us, because we are the ones with the new ideas, with the new ways of doing things. We can change things, and we want to do it.
Yes, and also the problems that happen in America, the elections now, we are looking into that, and the parents are like, why are you even looking at that? You're not there. And for the Black Lives Matter, for the LGBTQ plus community, I think they need to be more accepting of that, because racism and homophobia shouldn't be a thing nowadays.
I think you guys are all proving to us exactly this point. I think, you guys all doing these projects are showing all the grown-ups that we need to pay attention, that we should listen to what you're saying. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much. So Alison, Rajna, Adeline, if I can ask you to go join your next session, and I'm going to keep you guys here to ask them a few more questions. Thank you so much to our panelists. It's been great to have you here.
Thank you. I wish we had more time with all of you. Thanks so much.
Hello, children. How are you? My name is Benny. I'm currently working in Reckitt Benckiser, Singapore, that own a local brand called Dettol, Nurofen, Mead Johnson. I know you are all around the lovely world, but I'm now in a very beautiful island called Singapore with my family. I'm sure you are all excited to make a change and make our world a wonderful one by design. Us too, at RB, we're excited to protect, heal, and nurture in the relentless pursuit of a cleaner and healthier world. We fearlessly innovate and bring products in the pursuit across hygiene, health, and nutrition business. I'm truly inspired and encouraged to have been able to hear your stories and how your efforts to making our world a better one. I salute you for that. I have only one request. Don't stop. Don't give up. Keep on doing, designing, solving, and acting on all these great ideas. I wish you all the best, and thank you.
I've been really excited and happy about the success that DFC has been facing during the past 10 years. And it makes me extremely happy that the innovation is at the moment in 70 countries. But I think that it could and should be used in each and every country of the world. And when I imagine that there would be a world where each and every country, each and every city and school would be using some version of Design for Change, I think that that kind of world would be wonderful. Have a great session, you all.
Okay, welcome to a wonderful World by Design, the first ever virtual global with a change celebration. This festival of change makers from around the world is being hosted by Design for Change Singapore, powered by the tool, supported by Design Singapore Council and our global partner, Design for Change. Today is November 20th, United Nations World Children's Day. So let's celebrate. This event brings children together to connect, collaborate, and create. Give a center to stage to the voices. My name is Beatriz, Communications Manager at DFC Spain, and I'd like to introduce you the amazing change maker we have here today. We're gonna start with Lexen and Joshua from Singapore. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Lexan. I'm from Singapore Ocean Secondary School, class S13.
I'm Joshua from Singapore. I'm in Outram Secondary School and I'm in class S13 as well.
Thank you very much. Can you tell us something about your project in 2 sentences?
Our product is meant for us to bring down the amount of food waste that is in our school, and it can also be used as plant fertilizer.
Great. Also, we have a student from Canada. He's Joseph, and he's gonna introduce himself and he's gonna tell us something about his project.
Hello, my name is Yusuf from Ontario, Canada, and my project is about saving energy and making people aware about the amount of energy they use.
Perfect. This is very necessary in our world these days. And from Singapore too, we have another team represented by Natalie and Chelsea. So please introduce yourself and tell us something about your project.
Hi, I'm Natalie.
And I'm Chelsea.
We are from Westwood Secondary School. Our project is about improving the playground near our school to make it more inclusive for children with disabilities.
One of our ideas is to install a sensor that plays music when the slide is occupied or when the music stops, and a child with visual impairment will know that the slide is unoccupied and he or she can use the slide confidently.
Perfect, thank you very much. And last but not least, we have a Spanish team, and we have Elga and Chloe. So please introduce yourself and tell us something about your project.
Hi, we are Elga and Chloe, and I'm 12.
And I'm 11.
And our project, we help to the children who don't have a family and a house to live.
Great, very. Ah, yes, please. Go ahead.
No.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. You are very welcome. And to share with you today and ask you some questions, we have 3 panelists. So very welcome to Rashina Sampaio from Oracle, Alison Belgood from the World Largest Lesson, and Adeline On from Phrases Property. So do you want to introduce yourself? Please, Rashna.
Sure. Rashna Sampaio. I am based here in Singapore. I work for Oracle Corporation, a computer technology company. As the human resources leader, my job is to make sure to create a great workplace where employees come and have lots of fun. And so I'm really looking forward to listen to all of you, the future leaders of this world. And I'm very, very excited to hear about your exciting project.
Thank you very much for your words and your encouragement. This is amazing. So please, Alison, what about you?
Hi, I'm Alison Bellwood, and I am the director of the World's Largest Lesson, which is a project run in parallel with the United Nations and UNICEF to help children across the world know about the UN Sustainable Development Goals, but most importantly, not just to know about them, but also to take some action of some kind. So first of all, I'd like to just congratulate you all for the projects you've done, because each and every one of them is an action for the SDGs, and so you should consider yourself to be role models for other children across the world to follow.
Thank you very much. This is very, I got touched very well. And Adeline, please, can you tell us something about yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Adeline. I live in Singapore. I'm a Singaporean, and I work in a company called Phrases Property. I head up the communications and branding for the organization. It's a multinational real estate company, and basically what we do is we build and develop and manage buildings. And now when you just think of buildings, it can be really boring, but what's fun is when you think about the people who go through the buildings, whether it's a hotel or a shopping mall or a home or so on and so forth. There are lots of different types of people, and therefore we focus about what are the experiences do we create for the people that come through. How do we make sure that we're making it such that it's a more inclusive space for people as they come through, and also how do we make sure that it's good for the planet, it's good also for the society, and that's what we look at. And part of my role is looking at community investment, and therefore it's about how do we invest and support the communities that we operate in as well. So that's my role. I'm excited to be here. I have to say, at your age, I don't believe I was anywhere near participating in the kind of projects you have done and presented here. And I'm actually really excited to hear and humbled that to see that you guys are doing so much already at this age. So good job, guys.
Great. Thank you very much, Adeline. Very inspiring words too. So now I wanna thank you, Natalia, because she's a Spanish intern. She's wanna help us with the translation in case we need it, and she's also asking questions. So can you tell us something about yourself, Natalia?
Yes, hello, I'm Natalia. I'm in university currently studying administration and international relations. And I mean, I agree with Adeline that I would say that when I was your age, because I know I look young, I mean, I still am, but I'm older than you guys at school. I am very amazed by all the work you do, and it's just very, very encouraging to older people, to just students that want to do something good. So yeah.
Thank you very much, Natalia. Yeah, and you look so young, don't worry about it. Okay, and the last but not least, we have Sonan. He is a student council member, and he's gonna take care of this part of the event. So he's gonna ask you some questions. So please, Sonan, introduce yourself, tell us something about you, and then it's up to you. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sonam Tenzin. I am a 16-year-old student from Bhutan. I currently study at Regents International School in Bangkok. And with all of these amazing projects that you've done in mind, I wanted to ask you, who or what do you think inspired you to start these projects? Like, what was the main incident that inspired all of you to start your projects? Would anyone like to begin?
Anyone can do it, huh? Just go.
Anyone like to answer?
Okay, maybe Elga or Chloe?
Yes. The person who inspired us was Kiran Sethi. This is because not only she is the founder of Vision for Change, but her story and the reason for creating this organization were very motivating and encouraging to us. The way she conveyed her message made us want to do this project even more. This led to us create and choosing this project topic.
Great, thank you. And what about you, Youssef?
It's not one person in particular that inspired me. It's just seeing that if we want to transfer or have more have sustainable energy, we can't keep wasting it. So to transfer to sustainable energy and being more eco-friendly, we need to start by reducing the amount of energy we waste. So that's what inspired me, and also seeing all everything like pollution and all that, everything that has to do with wasting energy and fossil fuels and all that. That's what inspired me to do my project.
Great. Okay. Who goes? Lexon and Joshua, for example?
So for our project, the person who first started to inspire us was Zero Waste, the company. They came to our school to talk about how to make zero waste for plastic waste and food wastage. So in that way, a lot of our classmates thought like food wastage was a good idea, and our form teacher, Mr. Albert, decided to continue to motivate us to continue on this project.
Great. And Natalie and Chelsea?
Who actually inspired us was actually a schoolmate who is actually on a wheelchair. Because like in school, we noticed there are like infrastructures built, like bathroom and slopes for him, but more can be done. To us, more can be done. Also, when we play at playground, like he's not able to have fun with us as well. So we decided to start this project to help children like him to enjoy having fun at playground, like every other children's around. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, Sonam, do you want to say something else, or we can go with the panelists?
Now the panelists can take over if they have any questions or anything they want to ask the students from here.
Okay, so now is your turn, Alison, Adeline, and Rashna. Please just go with your question for the students. Thank you.
Okay, well, I guess I'll go first since I happen to be unmuted first. And I'd like to ask a question to Chelsea. Because obviously you were looking at playgrounds and it's to do real estate for me. And so I did a similar project last year. It was about how do I look at the shopping malls to be more inclusive for people with disabilities. So I'd like to learn from you, Chelsea. What was the biggest surprise for you and your team member when you guys did the project in terms of the discovery process? Of what was the biggest surprise as you worked on it?
There are a lot of places like the playground. I feel like we can include them more inside, and we went around to our neighborhood playground and we realized that there are a lot of things and buildings that they can't play. So like we have this project to improve their lives. So,
maybe Alison or Rashna, you have a question for them?
Yeah, I have a question for Youssef. In the film we got a little flash, a little picture of a game that I think you've created. What sort of impact do you think, or are you hoping that the game will have? How do you hope to influence people?
So the game is mostly its target audience is children, to start bringing them up in a way that they know that they shouldn't waste electricity, and to show them how much electricity they could waste or how much they could save is the goal, by turning the light off when they leave a room, or and like etc. So I think it could impact children in a positive way, and they could start being more eco-friendly. And if they do that, then when they're older, we could have better methods of for electricity and better methods and sustainable energy.
All right, so my turn. So I'll ask the question. Helga, can I ask you the question? As you were working through your project, what did you learn about yourself? What was the discovery you made about yourself?
Something that we learn about ourselves after completing this project was that we have a deeper empathic side to ourselves, and we thought we did. This is because after completing the project, we realized that helping others not only brings satisfaction to those in need, but also to us who are helping.
And did you enjoy that? Did you enjoy learning about that? Did you enjoy learning that, Helga?
¿Lo habéis entendido?
Can you repeat?
Did you have fun?
No.
Que si os lo habéis pasado bien haciendo el proyecto.
Oh, yes.
Yes, a lot of fun.
Great. And Alison or Adeline or Rashna, can you make the last question for the last team?
Sure. I have a question for Joshua. On your team, were there any problems that you encountered along the way with your project, and what did you do when you came to a problem?
For my group, we came across this problem where like a lot of the canteen vendors forgot that we wanted the remaining wasted food that was collected throughout the day. So we would try and make the effort at least at least one person goes down to the canteen during their break to go and remind the canteen vendors for the wasted food so that we could take it and continue doing our compost.
And for my team, which is promoting our VIA project, it was difficult because one of the difficulties is we had to go to different classes to explain more about our project, which was nerve-wracking for some of us. Yeah.
Ambition.
Wow. Great. So thank you very much. Time is over. So we're gonna take a picture, okay? So please make your biggest smile or your superpower if you feel better. I'm gonna take the picture. So count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much. That was so inspiring. And we are very happy having you changing the world. So thank you. Bye.
Namaste. I am Sahil Chaudhary from Noida, UP, India. I am here to showcase Kerala. Whenever I am at Kerala, I am at cloud 9 to look at its beauty. Kerala has substantial amount of facts such as it is known as God's own country. It is the cleanest state in India and the wealthiest Hindu temple is situated in Kerala. Kerala also has historical places such as Fort Kochi and Edikal Caves. I am grateful to be living in such a wonderful country.
Hello, I am Kieran Chan and I am at the Singapore Botanical Gardens. I admire this place due to the large variety of flora and fauna that can be found here. The Singapore Botanical Gardens is located at the heart of Singapore, near the Orchard Road shopping district. It houses one of the largest collections of orchids with up to 1,200 species and 2,000 hybrids. Whenever I'm here, I feel comforted by the chirping of all the birds that call this place home. I am grateful to be in this wonderful world.
Wow, very good, guys. Good job. It's a very amazing, inspiring video. So, James, do you have any questions for our teams?
Yes, I do. So thank you very much for sharing your project. All very interesting, all very relevant. But I'd like to ask, what is it that you particularly found important about these, and why is it you chose the projects that you did? And maybe I will swap round the order, and I will ask Team Singapore to give their answers first.
We chose this problem as it plays great relevance in our world today. And due to this COVID pandemic, lack of social interaction and togetherness are not seen as much at all. And this cause is actually important to me as it's an opportunity to help the people around in these trying times by allowing them to get occupied in various activities and develop their own skills. So yeah.
Great, excellent. Thank you very, very much. Could I ask the same question to Team Spain about how and why you chose your particular project?
We chose this project because we see in the school that the people don't keep the tap of the mic of the of the tap, and for example the electricity was the light was open all the classes. When we were out of the class they was again open. So this class is important for me because as I was a child I know that we are destroying the world and we have to do something fast. So in all the Design for Change that I have been, I always try to take the most related with waste.
Great, I wholeheartedly agree. Thank you very, very much. And could I now ask the same question to Team USA, please?
So this is important to us because the community, some people, if they aren't affected by racism, they don't really know about it because some schools don't like teaching it because it's an uncomfortable subject. And so we want people to know. It's important because people need to know what's going on and that this is a problem and that we don't want anyone else to be hurt by it. So we want to solve it.
Great, thank you very much. Should I ask another question or should I pass this back to Rasha?
No, sure. Go ahead if you have another question.
Okay, yes, I do. Could I ask that while conducting your project, what was your favourite part of doing the project? And again, I will start with Team Singapore on this one.
Most probably, my favourite part was interviewing my fellow students because I like getting fresh perspectives because it's a new way. Looking through other people's eyes is such a fun experience for me. Also, getting to know their struggles and how to help them overcome it and how they've overcome them, that can also be it's a huge help, and at the same time it can be quite humorous at times if I know the person. It's nice to have a conversation like that.
Great. Were you going to add, Nefra?
Yeah. Yeah, it was really fun organizing various events. We were even able to manage organizing sports day, and seemed quite bizarre and virtual, but it worked out well, so we were quite surprised.
Or did you say organizing sports?
Yeah.
And how did that work?
There was actually an event that happened where there was a fitness challenge where students were they had to record themselves doing a certain number of push-ups, sit-ups, they had to do that within a certain time frame, and then they would win awards based on that. They had recorded. Just because we're far apart doesn't mean we still can't make ourselves sit up.
Yeah, that's good. Very creative ideas. Great.
Awesome. So we'll move on to now and ask Team Spain what your most enjoyable part of your project was.
I think, in my opinion, when we start the project, we divided in some groups so we can be more productive. We send emails, we make stories, but in the group I was, we make some posters and cards, and then we place it around all the school, and that posters and cards were made by handmade, so that was so funny and perfect.
Great, awesome, sounds very good. And finally, back over to you, Team USA.
So I think my favorite part of this project was definitely working with my group members. We have a really good group of people working on this project, and researching information with my group members, even if it is on Zoom, it's still really fun because it's an important issue, but it's also one that I'm really interested in learning more about.
Awesome, thank you very much.
So actually, I'm very anxious to know if you are now thinking about the past couple of months when you did this project. Did you discover something about yourself while working on this project? How do you cope with some of the challenges? I want to hear the inside voice of you when you were doing this project. Can some of the teams share with us their thoughts? I will start again from, maybe this time let's do it also from Singapore. So we are rotating around the globe. Come on, Singapore.
In this project, because we, apart from interviewing our friends, we also had to empathize with them, and I also had to look at myself at a deeper level, because I had been occupying myself with various other things during the lockdown, but at the same time I had to see how I was truly feeling, like how affected was I by the lack of social interaction, and how badly it might affect others. I had to look at myself and how I actually felt. So in that sense, I discovered something new.
Did you change anything in your routine after doing this research?
Yes.
Sorry, Mitra.
So Martha?
So normally we see COVID as, we always used to complain, like, why has this come? But ever since this, after we started doing virtual events, we actually started to enjoy. We started looking at another perspective. So that caused a whole change in the routine. Like, we can do this kind of thing.
It's really inspiring, yes. I think this is a lesson that we should all learn, how to cope with new things and new routines and learn from it. Thank you so much. What about Spain team?
That my response is it's so parasite to Nitra, because it's that even we are children, we can change the world if we want it, because we have so many things that other people don't have. That, for example, the originality or the imagination.
Mm-hmm.
I have something to add, that I think we have learned a lot, and how the group of Singapore said, we empathize with other people, and we knew what is in the mind of other person, and what are their opinions and why they think that way, and how we can help them to know why the environment is so important. And we learn a lot of things, and the most important that we are kids, but we can do a lot, same that adults.
Wow.
Very good.
Very good. What about Caroline? Do you have something to add for a question for them?
Yes, I was just about to jump in, because I have been listening to you guys, and I am really, really, really impressed by your work. And I mean, I know those projects have been really challenging, and you have been overcoming a lot of difficulties and issues, and you have been learning a lot. So I would love to hear from you guys, like 3 words that would sum up each one of your projects.
So can we start with the USA, because I missed them in the last question, so you can answer both questions for one.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and answer the last question. So one thing personally that I learned was that I was not really aware of this issue before I went into this project. And so I think I definitely feel like I've learned a lot about this issue. I also have learned how to take other people's perspectives and their opinions, and how to, kind of influence my decisions on how other people think and how I can help them.
Good. And so the Caroline question, Leah, if you can.
Okay.
So a 3-word phrase we would use to describe our project is truth is justice. So sometimes the public doesn't know every fact about what happens. They don't know the truth. They don't know everything. And so we want everyone to know what the problem is. We want them to know every detail, every fact, so that we can get closer. Because if we don't know what it is and what's happening, we can't really get any farther into our project.
Wow. Actually, it's very inspiring. Truth is no. So then, Karolinka, you
Yes,
have a question also?
I mean, maybe hear the feedback from another team, like from Spain, maybe. Like if you guys could sum up the project in 3 words.
I think if I could summarize the project in 3 words, it will be the name of our project: sustainable, consumption, and responsible. This is the 3 words of our project, and I think these words summarize very good our project and our work.
Yeah, really like that answer. And last team, Singapore.
So I think the new normal, because positivity is the key, and if we can adapt to the situation, it just shows that we can adapt to any situation like this, and we should keep going on. So there should not be anything that will pull us down. So we need to adapt, and positivity is the key.
Sure. Yeah, really nice. So I give back the floor to Rasha.
So, if I want to ask you, who inspired you? All the 3 projects are very inspiring, and I want to know if there is any influence of something that inspired you. Maybe some of you already answered something similar, but I want to capture it for the end question. Can we start from US team?
Yes, so in Raleigh, we have 2 teachers who teach English, and I think they have been really inspiring working on this project, and they have taught us to not be afraid to have difficult discussions about things that we're passionate about. And we also have been in class learning a lot about history and slavery and how that has led up to leaving racism today.
Nice. What about Spain team?
The thing that inspired us was an interview that we do to the teachers, and mostly all of them, they waste the water or they waste the electricity or they don't recycle and something like that. And all the results was negative, so we want to change that.
In my case, I think the person that inspired me the most was Greta Thunberg, that is like a girl, like a kid like me, like you, and she did lots of things. This is very inspiring for me because she is a girl, it's not an adult, it has not, and she did lots of things. She do a work that is amazing, so she is very inspiring for us.
Yes. She is very inspiring to many of us.
Yes, sure. What about Singapore team?
I feel that our fellow students and also online influence, seeing how people were happy even during the lockdown, just seeing that they were still maintaining a positive attitude, that they were still striving to make others' lives better, that also greatly inspired us, alongside our own teachers comforting us.
Yeah, and for me, my teacher as well, like when she was the one who encouraged us to participate in this, and we were like, we're kids, what can we do? But she showed us that we can make a change as well, so.
Sure. Thank you so much, everyone. It was half an hour. It went very fast. I wish if we have more time to spend together. Thank you again. You inspired me. And now I feel that maybe tomorrow will be, I think, a better day because we have such wonderful kids in it. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. It was really great to meet everybody.
It has been great. Thank you very much, Joe.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, James. Thank you so much, Suzanne. It was a pleasure having you with us today as a panelist. And also, thank you for Design for Change in Singapore for making this happen and for arranging everything in this meeting. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Hello, this is Meilin Fong from California, and I'm sending you my best wishes for a wonderful time connecting. It's so important for children around the world to connect to each other at this time of pandemic, poverty, and prejudice, when we are seeing that the world needs improvement, and Design for Change is wonderful in helping all of us come together to support the younger generation to change the world, to make a better future for all future generations. This is Meilin Fang from the People-Centered Internet, working hard to be with you and have a better future.
Bueno, pues empezamos con un fuerte aplauso a todos los proyectos que hemos visto y bueno, pues estoy encantado de daros la bienvenida al evento Wonderful World by Design, que podríamos traducir algo así como un mundo maravilloso para todo el mundo desde el diseño, que es la primera Be the Change Celebration virtual. Hasta ahora todas habían sido presenciales y esta vez nos ha tocado hacerlo de esta forma. Un festival de agentes de cambio de todo el mundo. Están presentes 25 países, han estado compartiendo 25, van a compartir 25 países. Está organizado por Design for Change Singapur, con el patrocinio de Detol y con el apoyo de Design for Change Global. Bueno, la parte más importante, me vais a permitir ahora que os presente a los representantes de los 3 países que tenemos en esta conversación, Perú, Colombia y Ecuador, que os van a explicar sus historias de cambio y así podremos entender cómo estos jóvenes agentes de cambio con pequeñas o no tan pequeñas acciones pueden lograr un gran cambio, ¿vale? Entonces, pues por favor, y aunque no va a coincidir con el vídeo, el orden de los vídeos, pero como lo hemos ensayado así, vamos a ir con como lo habíamos dicho. Perú, venga, os voy a pedir que os presentéis, ya sabéis, vuestro nombre, edad, superpoder y un poquito de vuestro proyecto. Venga, Ana Luna.
Hola, mi nombre es Ana Luna, soy una estudiante peruana, tengo 16 años, mi superpoder es la imaginación y nuestro proyecto trata acerca de ayudar a las familias a emprender durante una época muy difícil que es ahora la de pandemia. Y eso, a partir del estudio de mercado y otras estrategias de financiamiento, ayudamos a que sea autosostenible el emprendimiento en cada familia de muy buena forma. De ayuda mutua también.
Pues venga.
Mi nombre es Ruth Santiago, soy de Perú, mi superpoder es la paciencia. Nuestro proyecto consiste básicamente en generar ayuda en esta época de pandemia que pues muchas familias se han visto afectadas económicamente. Entonces nosotros queremos dar una solución sostenible ante este problema.
Muchísimas gracias. A continuación se van a presentar los representantes de Colombia.
Hola, soy Luis, tengo 17 años. Mi poder es de la perseverancia porque a pesar de todas las dificultades y todo lo que se presenta, estoy ahí firme y intentar lograr las cosas. Mi proyecto trata de generar, de hacer energías, las energías renovables para sostener nuestro colegio, hacer que las cosas funcionen con energías renovables y para que los recibos de energía que llegan, pues no lleguen a tan alto costo y podamos mantener nuestro colegio con energías buenas para el medio ambiente.
Genial, muchísimas gracias.
Hola, soy Tainalí, soy de Colombia, tengo 16 años. Mi superpoder es el trabajo en equipo, porque 10 cabezas piensan más que una, ¿no? Entonces, nuestro proyecto se trata de generar energías renovables, con las cuales trabajamos, que son 3 tipos. Mecánica, eólica y solar. Para eso nosotros tratamos de ayudar a la comunidad en general. Primeramente empezamos por iluminar nuestro colegio, que siempre había una problemática que nos quitaban mucho la energía. De eso surgió nuestra idea y aquí estamos. Gracias a eso pudimos iluminar nuestro colegio con energías renovables.
Qué bien, genial. Pues a continuación tenemos a Ecuador.
Hola, buenos días. Mi nombre es Germán González, soy de Ecuador y nuestro proyecto lo que hicimos y lo que pensamos fue en que queríamos hacer un cuento para concientizar a las personas sobre el cuidado de los adultos mayores en el contexto de la pandemia. Y mi superpoder es la de la inteligencia.
Muchísimas gracias.
Hola, mi nombre es José David, mi superpoder es la lealtad y nuestro proyecto consistía en el cuidado de los adultos mayores. En este caso hicimos un cuento donde hicimos una reunión Zoom para que otros niños para que otros niños como que escucharan el cuento. Y así pues. Porque nuestra protagonista fue la protagonista del cuento, la señora Celeste.
La fuerza de las historias, que creo que muchas veces nos olvidamos de lo importantes que son y cómo cuando nos cuentan una buena historia nos quedamos absolutamente enganchados. Genial. Bueno, pues además de los representantes tenemos a 2 personas que hoy nos están acompañando y nos dan apoyo. Entonces, a Paola, ¿te presentas, por favor?
Buen día, mi nombre es Paola Prada. Yo estoy haciendo parte del equipo Colombia, acompañando a Luis y a Tainalí. Estoy en representación de Fundación Terpel Colombia.
Genial. Joao.
¿Qué tal? Buenos días. Yo soy Joao Rendón, soy de Perú. Soy parte del equipo Design for Change Perú y vengo acompañando a Ana y a Ruth en este proyecto.
Perfecto. Bueno, Natalia, ya que estás ahí.
Hola, yo soy Natalia, soy de Madrid, España, pero estoy trabajando para Design for Change Singapur y pues nada, muchas ganas de estar aquí hoy.
Y yo soy Miguel, soy de España y tengo la suerte de estar con esta conversación. Entonces, Paola, te voy a pedir que hagas una pregunta y que nos vayan contestando en el mismo orden. O vas a hacer una, luego Joao y vamos cambiando, por no ser siempre la misma pregunta. Preguntas a Perú. Venga, ¿qué pregunta le harías a Perú?
Listo, muy bien. A mí me gustaría saber de Perú, cuéntanos algo que hayas aprendido sobre ti durante este proyecto o qué te cambió el participar en el proyecto.
¿Podemos responder cualquiera o directamente?
De hecho, vais a contestar las dos. Aquí tenéis que hablar todas. O sea, esto es así.
Ah, ok, disculpen. Entonces. Bueno, desde mi perspectiva, siento que este proyecto ha ayudado mucho a mi familia y a solidificarnos más con los valores, porque al ser un trabajo de emprendimiento se necesita el apoyo de cada uno de los miembros. Y de esta forma nos hemos visto más responsables porque hemos controlado el gasto de servicios como agua y luz, entonces hemos también mostrado como más empatía hacia otros vecinos, también hemos visto como estrategias, por lo tanto creo que también eso ha reforzado mucho lo que son nuestras visiones y ya, entonces desde mi perspectiva sí ha funcionado muchísimo este proyecto y creo que cada uno también de nuestros compañeros.
Pues como tenemos a Ruth, ¿qué compartes con nosotros y nosotras?
Bueno, desde mi perspectiva, yo creo que hemos reflejado en mi familia los valores, como dijo mi compañera, el valor de la solidaridad, también nos hemos unido más, porque primero lo hemos practicado en nosotros mismos, que es el proyecto lo hemos practicado en nosotros, y yo creo que ahí nos hemos unido más como familia, nos hemos entendido más. También nos hemos concientizado nosotros también sobre todo esto de la pandemia, porque tiene mucho que ver con nuestro proyecto.
Claro. Genial, muchísimas gracias. Joao, tú vas a preguntar a Colombia.
Hola Tainali, hola Luis.
Hola.
Un gusto de poder conversar con ustedes. Quisiera preguntarles, ¿cuál fue la razón por la que eligieron el tema de energías renovables? ¿Qué los llevó a querer cambiar esa realidad?
Bueno, pues la razón por la que elegimos nuestro proyecto fue porque existía una problemática, como anteriormente conté, aquí en nuestro pueblo, que era que la empresa de la cual dependemos nos quitaba siempre la energía como desde las 4 de la tarde hasta las 8 de la noche, entonces lo necesitábamos, ¿cierto? Había veces en las que teníamos que hacer trabajos como utilizando computadores y así, se le acababa la batería y no teníamos una conectividad, ya que a esas horas más que todo quitaban nuestra electricidad. Entonces por eso nos fijamos en la idea de crear nuestra propia energía para no depender de una empresa, y realmente así fue, porque nuestro colegio ahora funciona solamente con energías renovables, o sea, con lo que nosotros producimos.
Ya decía que lo de pequeñas no siempre son pequeñas, sino que son grandes. Y Luis, ¿qué puedes aportar?
Pues sí, no, o sea, pues me está preguntando que cuál fue el motivo de nosotros al participar en este proyecto, ¿no? Pues sí, pues prácticamente es lo mismo que dice mi compañera, porque pues fue pura problemática en sí, siempre nos quitaban la energía, a veces cuando estábamos en clases de informática se nos iba la energía y los computadores quedaban ahí, entonces pues no podíamos seguir, o con el video game y todo eso, estábamos mirando algún video para alguna tarea o así, y entonces pues eso generaba muchas dificultades a la hora de aprender. Entonces pues ahí fue que nos surgió la idea de nosotros, entonces, bueno, si nos están quitando la energía, ¿por qué nosotros no podemos hacer nuestra propia energía? Entonces pues así fue, nosotros ya generamos ideas y encontramos esto de las energías renovables, en la cual pues ya nos seguimos enfocando y pues gracias a eso estamos aquí.
Bien. Bueno, yo voy a hacer la pregunta a Ecuador y claro, mi pregunta, os iba a preguntar que quién nos inspiró, pero me parece a mí que eso es demasiado fácil porque lo dice ya. Entonces os voy a preguntar cuál fue la mayor dificultad a la que os enfrentasteis durante el proyecto y cómo la resolvisteis.
La mayor dificultad que se nos presentó en el proyecto eran las fallas del internet, ya que el internet siempre que estábamos en clase nos fallaba y nos sacaba cada rato de clase y ahí nos perdíamos de cómo íbamos en el proyecto y había casos de que no nos podíamos conectar a las clases para hacer el proyecto porque no nos podíamos conectar porque no teníamos el internet.
Y sin embargo hoy está funcionando increíble, ¿eh? Crucemos dedos para que esto siga igual. José David, cuéntanos.
Nuestra dificultad también fue que cambiábamos también mucho de temas porque teníamos muchas ideas y eso se nos dificultó mucho porque creíamos que íbamos a ser los últimos de los grupos, pero no, logramos nuestro objetivo que fue realizar un cuento a los adultos mayores.
Genial. Hay veces que cuando tenemos tantas cosas que ya no sabemos cuál hacer. Vale, pues aunque vamos un poco mal de tiempo, pero me han dicho que nos podíamos alargar un poquito. ¿Hay alguna pregunta que queráis hacer a algún otro equipo? Paola.
Sí, a mí me gustaría preguntarle con respecto a los superpoderes, porque es algo que hemos trabajado mucho en todo el proyecto de Design for Change. Entonces a mí sí me gustaría que cada uno nos cuente cuál es su superpoder, cuál superpoder usaron en este proyecto o cuál es el que ahora aprendieron por haber participado en el proyecto.
Vale, lo único os voy a pedir que vayamos muy rápido, ¿vale? O sea, tiene que ser decirlo y cómo lo habéis aplicado, porque tengo tendencia a llegar siempre tarde y no vamos a hacer lo que también hoy, ¿vale? Entonces, venga, empezamos por Perú. Ya sabéis, ¿qué superpoder habéis utilizado o a partir del proyecto, cuál habéis aprendido?
Siento que en este proyecto hemos utilizado mucho lo que es quizá la empatía, que puede ser muy difícil para algunas personas, ¿no? Ponerse en el lugar de otras. ¿Por qué? Porque muchos de nuestros compañeros en nuestra clase han tenido dificultades para cumplir las tareas, han tenido dificultades para conectarse, incluso para tener los recursos suficientes para desarrollar sus responsabilidades, ¿no? Entonces, a partir de eso, nos dimos cuenta de que claramente lo que falta es apoyo, pero queríamos apoyar de una forma en que cada familia sea autosostenible, que no reciba solamente una ayuda momentánea, sino que reciba una ayuda más grande. Entonces nos pusimos, en este caso, lo que es la empatía y nos dimos cuenta de eso, de ese problema grande, que la ayuda que necesitan no solamente es para un momento, sino para que sea de forma más autosostenible.
Vale. Lo único os voy a pedir que sea más rápida la respuesta, ¿vale? Porque si no nos vamos totalmente de plazo. Ruth, cuéntanos, superpoder que has utilizado o cuál has aprendido después del proyecto.
La solidaridad, porque ya que nuestro proyecto mayor se basa en la ayuda mutua, entonces en general también ideas que nosotros vamos a asesorar a varias familias para que ellas puedan tener un estado económico estable y a la vez ellas van a poder ayudar, o sea, asesorar a otras familias que han pasado por la misma situación que ellas. Entonces yo creo que el valor o el superpoder es la solidaridad.
Genial. Colombia.
El superpoder que usé fue la perseverancia, porque a pesar de todas las dificultades que nos presentaban por falta de algunos materiales o recursos, siempre uno estaba ahí, yo estaba ahí firme, no, o sea, no me rendía por nada, siempre trataba de buscar soluciones para seguir adelante. Eso.
Genial, muy bien. Venga, Tainalí.
Mi superpoder es el trabajo en equipo, porque 10 cabezas piensan siempre más que una, porque trabajando juntos obtenemos muy buenos resultados y yo diría que mejores, y ese es mi superpoder.
Perfecto. Germán, ¿qué superpoder utilizaste o cuál has aprendido después del proyecto?
El superpoder que aprendí fue también el trabajo en equipo, ya que cuando estábamos realizando el proyecto tuvimos muchas lluvias de ideas entre todos, la colaboración fue muy buena, todos participaron.
Genial. ¿Y José David?
Mi superpoder fue el poder de la inteligencia porque, como les dije, teníamos como muchas ideas y tuvimos como 3 temas. El primero fue el de los robos. El segundo ya no me acuerdo mucho. El tercero fue el del cuento.
Que es el que más os quedó y con el que quisisteis hacer. Genial,
Sí.
pues Pues oye, de verdad está siendo un auténtico placer, pero ya os digo, esto lo tenemos que condensar. Entonces, ahora vamos a hacer una ronda súper rápida en la que me vais a decir ese mundo maravilloso para todo el mundo o ese Wonderful World by Design. Si tuviese que ser en una palabra, ¿cuál sería la palabra que representaría ese mundo maravilloso? Y ahora vamos a cambiar de orden por esto de la inteligencia y la creatividad. Entonces, vamos a empezar desde los panelistas. Entonces, venga, Paola, ¿cuál sería esa palabra?
Inclusión, un mundo donde todos estemos incluidos.
Venga, inclusión. Vamos a ver si lo hacemos en una palabra. Joao.
Corazón.
Corazón. Natalia.
Positividad.
Positividad. Y ahora vamos a irnos a Ecuador. Una palabra.
Fantástico.
Fantástico. José David.
Humildad.
Humildad, qué importante. Colombia.
Resistencia.
Positivismo.
Muy bien. Y por último, Perú.
Solidaridad.
Unión.
Y yo añado alegría. La verdad es que ha sido una pasada haber podido compartir este ratito con vosotros. Entonces, ahora voy a hacer una foto, así que vamos a ponernos ahí en una pose divertida para transmitir todo esto que les hemos querido decir. Ahora ya solo falta que lo consiga hacer. Sí, aquí está. Vamos a tomar la captura de la pantalla. Cuando os diga a la de 3. Venga. 1, 2 y 3. Genial, pues ya tengo la foto. Oye, un auténtico placer. Muchísimas gracias por este ratito. Espero que lo hayáis disfrutado. Y ya sabéis, ¿cuándo nos volvemos a ver?
El 20.
El 20 de noviembre.
El 20 de noviembre, para contarle a todo el mundo todo lo que estáis haciendo, porque de verdad que no sois el futuro, sino que sois el presente. Muchísimas gracias. Venga, adiós.
Un gusto.
Adiós. Gracias.
World's Largest Lesson is a programme to activate children and young people for the global goals through learning. The goals are a plan to eliminate extreme poverty, reduce inequality, and combat the threat of climate change. They are more important than ever. For the last 5 years, thousands of schools and youth organisations have been using our learning materials to introduce the goals to young people. We encourage students to think about the kind of world they want to live in and work back from there to identify the steps to make it happen. And through education, we can help them get started. Every year, we focus on one theme. From now until the end of 2021, our theme is Goal 13, Climate Action. We have already seen the power of young people to mobilise around this. Now, we need everyone to understand what is happening, where they live, and to take action.
Our philosophy at World's Largest Lesson when educating and learning about climate change is threefold. First of all, fundamentally, we need to provide opportunity to young people to go outside and enjoy nature. We cannot ask them to start protecting something that they have no experience of. Secondly, we believe presenting climate change is a serious issue, but one that can be solved is really, really important. For every issue and problem we talk about, we need to present a solution as well. And finally, we know that climate change is a very emotive topic for a lot of our young people. We need to provide them with open spaces for them to talk about their emotions where they feel like their opinions are heard and listened to. Learning is the first step to action, so our focus next year will be to provide the opportunity for students to get involved in action for climate change. One tangible action is to advocate for climate education. And 2021 is the perfect year to make this happen with the International Climate Summit, commonly known as COP, taking place in November. There is a role for everyone to ask for climate education to be formally introduced to their country's education systems. And we encourage you to join us and get involved in any way that you can.
Hola, soy Irene and I live in Madrid, capital of Spain. Right here I am in the Retiro Park, and the Retiro Park is my favorite park of all Madrid because it's so big. You have a lot of spaces where you can hang out with your friends, driving a car, playing card games, or even eating an ice cream. I think there are a lot of trees, so it's really, really cool. And I am really, really, really glad of living in this wonderful world. Thank you.
Hello,
I'm Shenong from Singapore. I'm at Gardens by the Bay. Completed in 2012, Gardens by the Bay is a futuristic park, 250 acres wide, consisting of the award-winning Flower Dome, Forest Dome, and Super Tree Park. I am amazed by the beauty of this majestic garden, which is home to more than 7 million natural plants, 2,000 of which are exotic. The 22 meters tall super trees, also known as hanging gardens, are the main attraction of the park. I am grateful to be living in this wonderful world.